Have you been considering making the move to Goodyear, Arizona, and you need to know anything and everything about it? Well, today we are on number 4 of a 4-part series. So today is actually the last part of the Goodyear series, where we're going to be exploring Estrella Mountain, located in Goodyear. Estrella Mountain is completely different than the other videos that I've shown in the last couple weeks. So if you're interested in learning more about Estrella Mountain, go ahead and keep on watching. Welcome back to Phoenix Living. I'm Nicole Baker. Today we are going over exactly that, but before we get started, you know the drill. I gotta let you know I'm a licensed realtor here in this beautiful state. So if you've been thinking about relocating to Goodyear or any of the Phoenix metro suburb areas, I will be your go-to girl. My number and email are popping up. I would love to assist you. If you're not quite ready to reach out yet, no problem. Go ahead and subscribe, because I'm going to be posting videos all about Phoenix, Arizona, and again, all its surrounding suburbs. There's a lot to go over. I'm going to be posting those every Monday and Thursday at 5 p.m. So you're going to want to stick around for that. But let's get started in today's video. All right, guys, so I'm kind of pulled off to the side here. I just got up to Estrella Mountain, and I'm really going to, I guess, preface this video by saying Estrella Mountain is not like any of the other areas that we've been to in this like little 4-part series that we've been doing. So keep that in mind when I'm showing you guys around. And then also another thing I want you guys to keep in mind too is Estrella Mountain, because it is a much smaller place, it's going to really only have this main shopping center, and then I'm going to show you guys a couple other areas like neighborhoods and housing and things like that. But if you are thinking like, oh my god, that's all that there is, like how far away is the other stuff, you can go back to the previous video that I posted, the second part of the Goodyear tour, and that area is probably about 15-ish minutes away from what we're looking at today. So that'll be like your secondary shopping areas if you're looking for more things to do, right? Like up in Estrella Mountain, in the actual mountain, there's not much besides the housing. There's like a little lake thing that I'm going to show you guys. It's not even a lake. I don't know. What a man-made water hole. I don't know what it's called. Anyways, point being is there's that, but other than that, it's really nothing. So you're going to have all your shopping when it comes to like Target or clothing, things like that, not like true necessities, are going to be down off the mountain. So keep that in mind. But let's go ahead and really show you guys the main portion of Estrella. Again, this is a luxury-ish area. A lot of people have second homes up here. There's a huge 55+ community up here as well, if that's something that you are interested in. And then they also have homes, like when I say luxury, I wouldn't necessarily say it's like all about price point, right? It's like a way of living. Anyways, point is that there's different price points still. It's not that you have to be like purchasing a home that's $700,000. There's different options when it comes to that. There's homes starting probably, if you're looking in the 55+, you can usually find something a little bit more affordable, because they do have, a lot of the times they're only 2 bedrooms, and more bedrooms, sometimes the pricier it could get, so keep that in mind. But probably starting around 400 and going into the multi-million-dollar properties, and I will be showing those today in this video as well. So we have Great Clips, we have a nail place, we have Safeway, which is like Vaughn's, depending on where you're coming from. They have a little Starbucks on the inside. They had a Taco Bell, a Walgreens, Chase Bank. So like, again, the major necessities, right? You need groceries probably on a daily basis, or not daily basis. That would be crazy if you're like me and go to the grocery store every single day, but you're gonna need to go there weekly, right? So keep that in mind. There's a gas station. There's a Walgreens for your midnight snacks. There's a Chase Bank for getting cash out, things like that that you're going to need. There's a Banner Health, like I think emergency, what is it called? Like a little mini emergency area. I don't know. There's a couple restaurants, McDonald's, Taco Bell. I don't know if I already said Taco Bell, but things like that that are going to be, again, more, I would say, the necessities or like a quick situation versus like you don't want to have to go down the hill every single day, because you probably, if you're living in Estrella, that's probably just not part of your plans. Now we're gonna head over to, like I mentioned, the little like lakeside grill at Star Point. Yes, so they also have a little restaurant in here. They used to have another kind of pizza place in here that I don't believe is here anymore, but you guys will see once we get over here. There's like a little water park for kids, and I don't know exactly all the ins and outs of this area. Like, do you have to pay to get into this? I can see if I can find that information out for you guys and pop it up on the screen. If for some reason you have to, it says residence club, so I'm assuming as long as you live in Estrella, you would have access to this. But if you don't, for some reason, Goodyear has, and this is part of Goodyear, so it does have its own rec center down the hill. So that would be also an option for you if you are looking to have access to like some sort of water-ish park for maybe kids, or like some sort of rec center. And then again, I mentioned more details about that in my previous video, and I kind of show off that area a little bit more. So if it is something that you're really interested in, go ahead and go back to that video, because you're going to want to know more about it. A lot of people take their pictures here. So for example, me, when I graduated from high school, I also got my senior photos here, because it's just a beautiful area and people love it here, and they love to take pictures because it's beautiful. No one's complaining. They have a little basketball court here. I think you can fish. Don't quote me. I think you might be able to do that here. And it looks like they may or may not have a little gym here, because those people look like they work out that just walked past me. So I'm thinking that they might have like a little fitness club inside, which is really cool. I feel like I've been in there once or twice. It's nothing crazy, but again, when you live somewhere that doesn't have a lot of amenities, it's nice to have access to those amenities without having to go all the way down. I cannot really get a great angle on this little water area for you guys. So what I'm gonna do is, I have some drone footage. So I'm gonna pop that up now so you guys can see that. And then now we're going to really just continue on with checking out some of the neighborhoods, because honestly, that's about it when it comes to the options that you have, like shopping centers up on the mountain. Like, you have tons of stuff, maybe 15 minutes away, but for me, like, that would be too far. I would not live 15 minutes away from all the things I would want, like crumble cookie, an actual Starbucks, like drive-through Starbucks, not the ones in the grocery stores, or you get what I'm saying. I like to have a lot of options, so Estrella wouldn't work for me. But people that eat at their house like normal people, unlike me, and you know, spend a lot of time at home and are looking to be a little bit further away from just like the hustle and bustle that like the main part of Goodyear really has, then Estrella Mountain is gorgeous. There's, like I mentioned, a couple different types of housing here too. So you have housing that is 55 plus. You have just your basic tract home where, you know, you're on a smaller lot, maybe 6,000 square foot lot, and, you know, basic. And when I say basic, I am also living in this sort of a situation, so it's not, basic isn't necessarily bad, right? But very standard, I would say, style home, right? If you're looking for land or like a larger lot, they have that as an option too. They have luxury properties on big lots. They have luxury properties on small lots. Like, it's literally everything that you would want. Obviously, the price point just has to make sense for what you're looking for. But we are going to kind of drive around a little bit and show you guys the different types of housing that it does have to offer. I'm not necessarily going to any specific area. There is one that I will be showing towards the end of this video that has more lots, and they actually have a lot of land for sale in there, because tons and tons of people are trying to sell their land right now, because it is a very popular place to move to and build property on. Because, and granted, the land's not necessarily affordable, but this area is going to continue to grow and there's going to be a lot more options. Towards the end of this Estrella Mountain area, there's tons of new builds too. So you have options when it comes to older versus newer, custom versus tract, tons and tons of options. And they also, I believe, have townhomes maybe. Don't quote me on that, but once we go back there, I'll show you guys. And they do have like a little community center up there. I believe you have to be part of that specific community, but they have like a community pool. They have a little restaurant in there. What else did they have? They have, I believe they have a golf course close by as well. So if you guys are interested in golfing, that's super cool. And I believe, do they have a golf course in the 55 plus area? I'm not sure, but talking about 55 plus a little bit, if you guys are interested in 55 plus, I don't necessarily put them in these videos because it's kind of like a very select few that are watching my videos that are looking for the 55 plus. But if you are, comment down below and I can do a 55 plus tour. Cantamia is absolutely stunning. I know a lot of people and myself who have sold in that area, and it is a really gorgeous community, especially if you're looking to be a little bit more secluded. There's other gorgeous 55 plus communities in like down off the mountain in Goodyear as well. I can tour those ones, but I just want to know that you guys are looking for that. Also, another thing about Estrella is, as you can see, there's a mountain. Like, it's so funny coming from, like, I lived here, I moved to Denver for a short period of time, came back, and obviously Rocky Mountains, they're like huge, right? So that's in Colorado. But here, I lived in Arizona my whole life. It's called a mountain. People probably laugh whenever you're from a different state and I say that that's a mountain, and you're probably like, no, that's actually like a hill. That doesn't even make sense that you would say that it's a mountain, but that's just, I don't know, that's what we say in Arizona. It's not really a mountain, it's a hill. But point being of all of this is there are trails here. So if you're looking to, you know, be active and enjoy the landscape that Arizona does have to offer, there are a lot of trails in Estrella Mountain and also just nearby in general. So keep that in mind. Oh, perfect segue while I'm driving around and showing you guys, I'm looking for this like luxury community, but I want to tell you guys a little bit about rattlesnakes, scorpions, bugs, like all the questions that I get. And I'll probably make a whole nother dedicated video just about, you know, Arizona things that people don't know about. But I do get a lot of questions when it comes to bugs and rattlesnakes and all that. So I will give you guys my professional Arizona native opinion when it comes to all of these things. We'll start with rattlesnakes. Up here in the mountain, I mean, you're going to have more things like that because you're on a mountain, right? So keep that in mind. If you are not looking to ever see a rattlesnake, ever see a scorpion, you're not coming to the right place. Arizona is going to have those things. Granted, for me, like, I have never seen a rattlesnake in like the normal, not normal, off of the mountain, right? So like in the actual, I want to say maybe valley. Is that what I would explain it by? I don't know. But off of the mountain, you don't have just like a rattlesnake in your backyard. I've never had that. I've lived in a lot of different neighborhoods throughout Goodyear, Avondale, Litchfield Park. My friends live throughout the entire valley. I've never heard of anyone having that situation, but that doesn't mean it's not possible. It really just depends on where you're looking. And then when it comes to scorpions, again, I've never had a scorpion in inside my personal home. I'm sure they're outside for sure, but that's just a part of living in Arizona, and maybe people make it scarier than it probably really is. I'm not worried about it, but I'm a native. So take everything that I say with a grain of salt. If you spray your house for bugs, and if you spray your house with any sort of bug killer, you're not gonna probably have like a serious issue. You just need to make sure that you're staying on top of those kind of things, because you know, if you don't, there is a possibility for bugs, just like any state. When I moved to Colorado for the little bit of time I did, it was like, there's a lot of freaking spiders here. Like, I was not used to that at all. There's just like spiders everywhere there. There's moths everywhere. There's just like a lot of bugs. Here, I don't feel that that's, you know, a thing that I really encounter quite often. But again, do some research on it. You're going to see those things, and depending on where you are, we will know. Also, there's this thing called seller disclosures, which is what the seller has to provide to you guys. Well, they don't have to, but majority, 99.9% of the time, they're providing some sort of disclosures because it ends up protecting them more than anything. But on there, it does ask, have you seen a rattlesnake? Have you seen scorpions before in this house and or around this property? And if, you know, they answer truthfully, of course, then you'll know if that's going to be a problem or not. Like, it really just comes down to, is it a scorpion here or there? Is it an infestation? Have they never, you know, sprayed for all of these types of bugs? It's just like any state, guys. I'm sure you guys have similar things that go on in whatever state you're from. Go ahead and put it in the comments down below. What's your guys' number one, like, pest, I guess, that's around about in your area? Because, yeah, like I say, scorpions, rattlesnakes, it's not like a common pest, but I don't know. You guys let me know. I've heard a lot about people saying like squirrels are like a really common pest where they live, or deer are even a really common pest where they live because they have like really nasty diseases. I don't know, but all of these things to keep in mind. I believe I found the luxury neighborhood area, so we're gonna go ahead and head in there if we can, but it is gated, so let's see what we can do when it comes to finding this code really quick, and I will get right back to you guys. Okay, took me a little bit longer than I wanted, but we are in. I had to do a little bit of research, but I'm gonna drive past this house one more time once we get over here. But some of the houses, just so I can explain kind of like the pricing for you guys, these are all custom homes, so it just depends, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But that one that we just passed by was sold in the last year or two, and it was sold for 1.1 million. So all of these homes are going to be at different pricing. All of them are going to have different styles. Like, as we can see kind of as we're pulling up here, that house, it's a little bit pushed back, just like most you know, beautiful luxury homes. They don't want to be right off the main road a lot of the time. So that one, I'm sure, $1 million property at least. And obviously you have some crazy amazing views from up here too, and it is very limited on how many lots are in this whole little area. So again, it's just very luxurious. You're gonna know every single neighbor because it is very few and far in between on these properties. And if you're looking for land, this area does have lots for sale as well. I believe there is a lot in here right now for sale around 190 something ish. So all of these things to keep in mind. Again, here is another property. This one's just, you know, in its framing stages, but there's a couple along this end that have been built for a little bit more time that we can drive by really quickly. And this is a gated neighborhood as well, so if you're looking for a little bit more privacy, which comes along with luxury usually, this would be a really great area for you. And another one of the homes, I think it was this house right here, sold for $995 a couple years ago too, which I'm sure, depending on when exactly it was sold, it has just continuously gone up. Something that you need to keep in mind when you're thinking about purchasing land, it isn't as easy as just, you know, getting a loan and purchasing land like how it is for housing, for typical housing. A lot of the times, lending on land is not as easy as it is just a normal house, because there's a lot of rules and regulations that go along with whether or not you can even get a loan on that type of property, whether it has utilities, whether it has water, whether it has all of these different variables that come with purchasing land. A lot of the times, like I said, they just don't qualify. So you have to end up purchasing cash, or maybe like a construction loan. If that's something that you're interested in, you guys can reach out to me about it, and I can connect you guys with the right people that, you know, can do construction loans and can do land loans. It's not always going to work out, but I want you guys to at least have that opportunity. And also just be prepared if you're like, oh, I really want to build a house. Just be prepared. It always takes 10 times longer than what we think it's going to take. Yeah, that's definitely something that you're gonna have to realize very early, is like, if you say you want it to be done in a year, prepare that it's probably gonna take 2 years, because and it's also gonna be double the budget. That is definitely what I've heard about so many people buying land, especially also in Arizona. It's always more expensive because depending on where you're purchasing the land, there is like extra fees involved when it comes to like digging, for example, a pool, or just building on these kind of lots. Or if it's, you know, on a mountain, you know, you gotta keep all of these things in mind, because there are digging costs that are involved. And because Arizona's ground is so much harder than pretty much anywhere else, you are going to have to usually pay more. So just keep all of it in mind when it comes to purchasing land. There's also architectural plans that you have to pay for, and I don't know, there's a lot that goes into land. So a lot of people that end up like reaching out to me that say, oh, I want to buy land, or I want to build a house, they end up just changing their mind completely once they realize how much really goes into it. If you've purchased lots before, if you've built before, if you're a construction dude and that's the route you want to take, then it probably is going to not be as big of a deal versus like me. Even though I'm a realtor, it's a lot that goes into it. So anyways, I'm going to drive around a little bit more for you guys, show you some of the neighborhoods. We've kind of hit all 3 points that I wanted to hit, which was one, obviously, you know, I do show the community in every single one, but also showing you some more older homes, showing you some more middle luxury-ish homes, and then showing you these kind of like custom homes. So what I'm going to do next is probably head up to some more newer homes, and then just show you guys kind of around Estrella in general. But yeah, I will talk to you guys in a second. Right now, guys, we're passing the main high school. I don't actually even believe there's any other high schools here, and it is the Estrella Foothills High School. If schools are important to you guys can always check out the links that I have down below in the description bar on, you know, anything and everything that you need to know about schools, whether it be private schools, whether it be public. I can't tell you guys that stuff, and honestly, I would be doing you a huge disservice. I don't have kids. Even though I went to that school, I believe, was in my district. It's been a while since I've been out of high school, so it would be, yeah, not the best route for you guys to take, to even take my advice, because I'm sure it's a lot different than whenever I went to high school. Keep all of those in mind. You don't have to go all the way down off the hill to have close access to schooling if that's important to you. If you don't like any of the schools in this area, then obviously you're gonna have to drive a little bit further. Completely up to you guys. We are actually headed towards the very, very back end of Estrella. Like, Estrella is very huge. It's a wide spread from whether you be like very beginning to the very back, which is probably like the Cantamia area, which is the 55 plus community. That's gonna be at the very, very end. That could be a 15-minute spread of distance. And from the very back of Cansamia all the way to off the hill could be a 35-40 minute drive, just dependent on, yeah, like I said, where exactly you are throughout this community. Here are some of the, I don't know if they're necessarily townhomes, they're definitely not, but they're kind of like, it's a single family style home that has the garages in the back, and it has, or not garages in the back, sorry, has the shared driveway. That's what I'm trying to say. So you guys let me know what you guys think about these like shared driveway situations. I'm gonna kind of like peek into this one. So basically, as you can see, this is a very small little driveway area, or like, it's a weird setup. I wouldn't mind it necessarily. Obviously, there's no street parking because this wouldn't, if you parked on the street, it wouldn't allow you to do anything. So if that would bother you, or you have a lot of cars, that situation definitely would not make sense. But you still have a driveway and you still have a garage. So sometimes it's gonna make sense, sometimes it's not. But these are really beautiful homes. These aren't too old, they're not super brand new either. I would say these are within the last 2 years. So if you're looking for something like that, these homes are very like a Tuscany kind of style, which I really enjoy because they're a little bit different than like a simple, I don't know, gives a little bit of like eye-catchingness to it, and we all love a little curb appeal, right? Over here on the right hand side, it looks like they have a couple little tennis courts, and then they also have a little park over here, which is really cool. Trying to find neighborhoods with like a couple different amenities is always nice, because you know, when you're somewhere that doesn't have a lot of access to all of the things that maybe a neighborhood down off this hill would have, if you do have kids, it's nice to have these little, you know, extras, right? I'm gonna show you guys a little bit over here. I believe is their, what is it called? They have a fancy name for it, but it basically has like a pool, a jacuzzi, a little restaurant, like their rec center up here in this community. I believe we're getting kind of close. And again, mixtures of different style homes and different types of homes, even all the way up here. Oh yeah, Montecito. This is the Montecito area. Different style homes and different price points. There's Toll Brothers in here, which is a luxury builder. There's also Richmond, which could be more affordable. There's D.R. Horton, which is typically more affordable. And granted, you know, affordable, take that with a grain of salt, because 500,000 average price point is not going to be necessarily affordable for everyone, but sometimes it makes sense for other people. Presidio, yeah, that's what this little resident club thing is, and it's gorgeous. It's very gorgeous on the inside. When I used to be a server, they had like a spin-off of that in this community because the restaurant owner lives in Estrella. So she opened it in here, and it was really, really cool and good food. And it was like pizza, pasta, that kind of thing. I don't know if it's still in here, but I'm sure that they have some sort of restaurant in there now. And it has, like I said, a gorgeous little pool area, and just nice for when it's blazing hot. 112 degrees today. So again, I'm facing the heat for you guys always with these little car tours. I can't say I'm not excited for wintertime, but you guys will have to tell me when you get here what you guys think. Some people are like, I love the heat, Nicole. I want to live here and just be here 24/7. And then some people are the complete opposite, and they hate the heat. And I just want to know, what are you? What's your vibe when it comes to the heat here? So let's check out one more neighborhood and see what's out here in Estrella Mountain. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, pretty please hit the thumbs up button. It really helps out my channel and gives me the motivation to continue to make these videos. And if you want more content just like this, I post every Monday and Thursday at 5 p.m. So go ahead and subscribe. And if you have questions about relocating, it is not an easy process at all. But I try to make it a little bit smoother for you guys. So please reach out. My number and email are popping up. We go into a lot of detail that I can't necessarily put in all of these videos, because I say all the time, my videos would probably be 3 hours long if I showed you guys all that I really go over in these Zoom calls and once you guys get out here. So anyways, hopefully you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.